Welcome back to Daily Driven Alpha. Now, we haven't had any posts up recently as our city Brisbane here in Queensland, Australia has in the past week suffered significant flooding and a lot of roads cut, a lot of people's houses submerged and a lot of community work being done to help clean up, and as a consequence we haven't been able to get out to have a look at the project, but got out today to have a look at it, and the little GT 1300 Junior that we had sitting outside under a tarp was very wet and sorry for itself, so we've opened it up. It's quite hot today and allowing it to dry out. You can see carpets etc. out. Taken some of the stainless steel trim off. We managed to get the bumper off, didn't want to come easily. We had to get the angle grinder out and cut some sections, which we're not too worried about because it gave us an opportunity to have a look at how bad things were underneath the external panels. You can see inside dashboards that'll need a complete new dashboard, or we'll need to take it to a specialist to vacuum form it. Floors, as you've seen in the past, pretty rough, but look, I'm surprised there's still a bit of structure there on the high points, and as we've said in the past, the back end of this car's held up really well. Obviously the sills, and you can see that structure. That is going to take significant work when we decide that we're going to do this car, but that is significantly down the track. Anyway, so that's a little bit of an update on the Junior. As you can see, we've just cut some of the steel work away, have a look and see what sort of condition the body is underneath. Even though that wheel tub looks okay, the reality is further down the track we'll probably replace those with brand new wheel tubs. Do want to get the dashboard out, get the instruments out of this car and get them into storage, keep them nice and dry. They'll only get worse. Sort of cleaned off the roof a little bit and had a look. I'm quite happy that we haven't got any rot straight through in the gutters, so that's good. Not exactly the same down here though. But anyway, it's interesting, and look at that, some original white paint for what it's worth. But like I said, parts of the back end of this car are actually fairly sound. Right, rear bumper, that'll clean up nicely. All that mould and dirt etc. will just buff straight off. They're in good condition. And that's one thing that I liked about Alfa. They use stainless steel trim rather than cheap chromed metal parts. So we're fortunate. Those carpets obviously won't be used, but if we decide to make them here locally, we'll just use them as a template. Right, what's happened with the rest of the cars? Super, still being driven. That's a delightful little car, I've got to tell you. The coupe, well, it's been tucked away here safely in the shed. We do have a coffee and cars event next Sunday, and it's celebrating the AlfaRomeo mark, so I'm going to try and get a couple of these cars out there. The project car, the coupe, we've been working on the doors. We had to weld some material into the door handles. There was significant rust in these areas here, so we fabricated some metal pieces underneath. We've stitched that up on both, so we've got solid metal in there, and we've skim coated the entire door. I thought they were looking pretty good until we put some guide coat on, and then we found lots of little low spots, and there was one significant dent in here that we hadn't seen. It was just a sort of a long low depression, and we used a tack and pull piece of equipment to lift that sheet metal a bit, and that's come out nicely. We also found a couple of other areas on the car that we'd worked previously that we thought were okay, but they weren't. Well, I have to admit we've had to go back and redo a lot of the work we'd already done, and you would have seen in a previous video where we had indicated we were using a Sharpie to highlight all the low spots and the high spots on the car. Since then I found out from some professionals that that had to be removed and taken back to metal, and the work had to be redone because the chemicals that are in those Sharpie pens bleed through all the work you've done, and when you paint the car, that will immediately come through the paint, work its way up. So that video that we'd posted previously where we were talking about using a Sharpie, I've actually taken down. That was incorrect. So apologies for all of you who saw that. The way to go there is to use lead pencils if you're going to mark those areas up. But anyway, we've done that. We've done the roof as well. We've done a filler, we've sanded it, and we've also put a spray putty on it. You will see there's a marking pencil where there's a low spot just here, but the roof has actually come out quite nicely, and we're happy with that. So a bit more work to be done, and unfortunately rework that we did on the car, but I guess that's all part of the journey, right? So that's where we're at the moment, and we've got more wet weather coming. We may not be able to get back to the car tomorrow, so we'll do what we can today, and we'll enjoy these cars. Might even start this one up, take it for a run. It's been sitting for a while, as you can see by all the dust over it, and then we'll come back and do this. So hopefully today we'll get into those doors, and then we can seal them up. So there's no such thing as a 10-minute job, as they say on project cars, and what you think is going to take you a week or a month often takes a lot longer. But like I said, that's part of the journey, and luckily we're not under any time pressures. Hope you've enjoyed the update, and hope your projects are going well. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends, put any respectful comments up if you have them, and we hope that you guys are all keeping well and safe, and your projects are moving forward. Thanks for watching.